What's up guys, it's Bonecrusher 2D coming at you with one of the best wingsuit tutorials you're ever going to see. Let's start off with the beginner category. Right now, these are the people that have just joined the game. They have never experienced steep. They want to get in, they want to understand how to wingsuit. And boys, I am here for you. One of the first things you'll want to know when starting wingsuit is the difference between precision and proximity. Precision is all time-based events, where proximity is all point-based events. So we're going to jump up, hover up, dive down, left, right. Basic controls, you can manipulate that with the left stick and dodge with the right stick. Getting those fundamentals is going to be what makes the rest of this game happen for you. We're going to run through Razmot real quick here. This is one of the easier challenges to do in the game. As a beginner player, start by going around the left side there. You don't want to push the limits of the wingsuit just yet. You haven't had as much experience as the other players, so just do what you need to do to finish the checkpoint. Get each checkpoint, get to the end, make it happen. Make sure you're giving yourself the optimal line. Go immediately from one checkpoint to the other and just get there. Most of the wingsuit challenges, as far as time, are pretty easy as long as you're hitting the basic mechanics. Don't forget to do your celebratory snow angel. Alright boys, now you've finished it. You've gone through all of the challenges, but wait, now you're stuck on the hardest. What do you do now? How do I get better? What proximity event should I do to practice? And to that I say spring water. It is technically challenging, but it is not as hard as some of the other events, and it gives you a little bit of an extra edge when improving your wingsuit abilities. You can also hover over events in Mountain View and check what the all-time first of the week, first of the day is. I would suggest getting first of the week and copying their run. In proximity events, you'll want to hit as close to the rocks and avoid snow. For the precision events, such as fallen rocks, you'll want to do as clean of a line as possible. Hit through the center of those checkpoints here in Fallen Rocks and ensure that you've got enough space from either left or right. Make sure you're dodging and hovering up with enough space to be able to finish the run. Remember to practice and just grind out the event. It's understandably very difficult with the small window you have, but you'll get there. So let's move on to Pulse. This is just to show off that the checkpoints are spheres. They're not actually circles. So even though you can see them on the mountain view and when you're going at them, they are not circles. You can see that as I jump in, I'm actually diving to the very end of the checkpoint. The reason I'm doing that is I want to start as far back as possible. If I don't start at the very back end of the sphere, and you see me approaching here now, when I start the checkpoint, my replay is going to be much, much farther ahead. I am losing 6 to 8 tenths of a second on just that little. Another tip is you cannot always judge where you're going to be hitting, where the side of the checkpoint is that you want to be going at is. So make sure you're marking it with your binoculars or in the mountain view. Once you've completed that, remember to jump and celebrate. Alright, Masters, this is where you come in. This is the people that have gone through all of the events and you finished everything in the game, but I want to be the best in the world. So how do you do that? Well, here's the dodge mechanic. Start by hovering and then dodging to the right or to the left. The goal is to get your foot off of the right hand side of the screen if you're dodging right, or your left foot off the left side of the screen if you're dodging left. That's how you determine whether or not you're doing it. Now, why this works is you are always going at a set speed forward, but by dodging, you are adding a little bit of direction, a little bit of additional inertia to your character at all times. This keeps your character going not only forward, but to the right or to the left as well, and adding a diagonal direction means that you will be constantly going at a faster speed than if otherwise you were not dodging. So I'm going to do Razmot again, except this time at the highest level. I'm hitting the sides of the checkpoint. I am always going for the most optimal line, turning as early as possible to hit all of the checkpoints. And you want to be as optimal in every stage of the game. incorporating the dodge mechanic is very difficult. Don't let me lie to you. This is very, very difficult. So managing to do it is important that you do a lot of practice. All right, enough of this precision stuff. Let's go over to the proximity stuff, since that's a little bit harder to describe. What you need to know is when you're going against the mountain, you've got 1 point, 1 pixel on your body that accumulates points based on where you are in the mountain. So, as I'm flying over this event, you can see I have slowed down, and the bottom left-hand side, I'm accumulating points much more often and much quicker. And the reason I'm doing that is because I got a glitch where I meshed that pixel into the mountain, into this wire. And what that means for you is if you clip your foot into the mountain, you can get many, many more points. Now that you're all professionals, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the mountain.